Normally, in one of these situations, I can point to some obvious flaw, and in good faith tell you, do this, this, and this, and your overall work will improve. Normally, we're told on YouTube, presentation and appealing voice are the first two core tenements to success. Here is utubedude and what he sounds like.
Finally, I was mentioned in an alt-CC video. Lol, okay, first things first.
Here is what he looks like. If you're not familiar with utubedude or the commentary community, you're going to assume I drew this. That I, in fact, am putting you on. That this is me trying to make fun of utubedude's original character. No, this is really it. Well, with a visual appeal like this, his humor or his analytical sense must be gangbusters, judging by his view average.
Jerm.
Which at least is around 1,000 minimal. And his sub-average is 3,000. All very respectable for the commentary community. I'd argue that's as good as it gets, barring manga common. But since my advice to utubedude isn't to make 20 MapHat videos, let's grab another copy.
Together, the runtime would amount to 1 hour and 4 minutes. Doodle's video, which is essentially a combination of his 4 commentaries, abridges it all to 18 minutes. Even if the viewers could watch other commentaries that say a lot of the things said in Doodle's video, that still doesn't mean Doodle's video doesn't have a purpose.
This got over in the commentary community. This is Jerm. His voice sounds like angelic wings dancing along the air. It is a fine, robust, posh British accent that doesn't so much as flow as it makes love to the air around it.
Counter rant that started off with, I used to be a fan of yours. If you were an actual fan, a simple video that you didn't like wouldn't be the end of you watching me.
I think that was absolutely correct. People like Doodle like to make videos for the smallest, the tiniest of reasons. I think this whole drama was a perfect example of things being blown way out of proportion. And, you know, I want to apologize, because I did get a bit angry during this video. It's just that if you're going to get on someone's ass for insulting you, don't do the same to them. That's just violating your principles, and it won't reflect all that well on you. I'm not saying you're entirely wrong just because of that, but, you know, it's just something to keep in mind if you want to beat these people at their own game. They absolutely are hypocrites, and they always cite that it doesn't make you wrong, as long as your overall premise is correct. I think in the instance of Doodle saying that ad hominems don't debunk an argument, I think she is a hypocrite when she hurls insults at her target. And there have been instances, you know, where she's done this. And honestly, in that instance, it does make her wrong.
This is utubedude.
Assume that I didn't make that Doodle script into a video because I didn't want to hurt Doodle's feelings. No. I didn't make that video for 2 reasons. Because I already showed the script to Doodle, and I figured making it into a video would be pointless.
Need I say more? Jerm has 100 subscribers. utubedude sounds like a nasally prepubescent schoolboy. What do you say to an audience that prefers this? If you're in the audience right now and you're shaking your head at me, well, FNGR, you just hate utubedude, and you're boys with Jerm. Alright, fair enough. Let's do another example. This is Gwis.
This really gets me because this is borderline insidious on 2 accounts. One, it looks like you're trying to prime your audience to tilt away from the thing you're trying to, and I say this with heavy air quotes, fairly evaluate. And 2, what kind of an audience were you trying to bring with that title? Probably like-minded people that wouldn't mind an unhealthy and high amount of bias. That's right, I'm calling you out for cultivating an echo chamber with that video name of yours. Now perhaps he's not intentionally trying to keep things biased in his favor. After all, maybe he's just trying to make sure his video reaches people that look into things like nofap and porn free. First off, that's what tags are for in terms of searching and related video algorithms, and 2, it still comes off as massively biased regardless of his intentions.
Here is his OC. Here is how he sounds. 400 subs. Thankfully his view average, as far back as 10 months, is about 1,000. You should probably go check him out. In fact, you should check him out. Especially if you're bored by this video or utubedude's video. Can anyone else explain to me why utubedude's view count is relative to Gwis's? Because I don't understand. If you're waiting for a logical, well thought out argument, let me grab utubedude versus the world.
You just have one of your members plan an unorganized 3-hour live stream only for them to claim it was basically an alt-CC stream, even though it wasn't what it was in the first place.
It's already been done.
Oh. It's funny, YouTube dude was complaining about assumptions and then you guys comment on that video assuming we had a motive to posting it. When in reality we just thought YouTube dude's comment was funny enough to get a spot on our Neo CC reading series. Oh yes, most of you seem to have forgotten that we have a whole series dedicated to reading shit that the Neo CC posts.
In fact, it's been done more than once. A warning to the Neo CC about Mr. Dapperton.
Now on the opposite side we have YouTube dude with this comment he left on Doodletones' new video.
And before people start insulting Doodle for a month, leading her to block people because they're getting to the point of harassing her, thus making people think she's censoring freedom of speech, even though she has every fucking right to block people because only the government supports freedom of speech and Doodle is not part of the government. Then people start saying how she's censoring critique, even though fucking Medicare and his fans admit they were just trying to get a rise out of her.
Now, if your counter is FNGR, let's say I completely agree with you on your points on YouTube, dude. But I'm noticing a lot of flaws here, and here. I'm not really part of the commentary community. My community, which I help police, with my series, How Not to Brony, is done from somewhere between weekly and a bi-weekly run. Because of me, my community has been able to distance itself from people like, say, AJ the Autistic Pony, Keyblade Pony, the Looney Turtle, Anime Wolf Gamer, who's basically YouTube Dude's social counterpart. Here, let's grab a clip and play them side by side.
Ugh, this thing is so itchy, but it does make me look sexy. I kind of wonder if Miles is into this kind of stuff.
Jorm.
Which we'll get back to in a minute. I've policed my own friends like Brony Buck and Toon Critic. This is Doodletones. She is a highfalutin pillar of the commentary community. She is YouTube Dude's senpai. She talked him into taking his channel down originally, and let him have it back later. In essence, Doodle cuckolded YouTube Dude out of his channel, and then let him have it back. This happened. This is a fact. It's why YouTube Dude's channel has an archive channel for his old work. YouTube Dude is not his own man. In fact, we should call him YouTube Boy. Now, I'm a grown man, and I chose to come along for Doodle's fuckery during the Mr. Medicare situation. For the same reason I do everything. For no good reason. Now, what I'm going to tell you next is what's going to separate me from YouTube Dude. I was wrong getting involved in that nonsense. 100%. I do not disown my videos that I made on Mr. Medicare. Had I, or had we gone on the Meadow podcast, we still would have been wrong. Doodletones, instead of learning from her mistake, doubled down and found someone that she could mentally break down to get him to delete his channel and put him back together, like a cult. I'm not getting into a debate with YouTube Dude because there's already examples on why this man shouldn't be in the discussion. When I drew that example from Anime Wolf Gamer even before I was around, people in that community understood that he should not carry influence. Even when Anime was dating a close friend of mine, I went to great lengths to keep him on the outside. And if you ask yourself, what would Doodle do with a nasally, annoying Spurg? Well, we already know what she did. Going back to, say, Foxwell, in the analyst community, we have put a healthy distance between himself and ours. Whereas in the CC, he was allowed to have some level of influence. What happened when you guys allowed him to have some influence? He bit you in the ass. Like, I literally can't go to a commentary channel without YouTube telling me Foxwell is subbed there. And the first channel he gets to trade up to, the very first chance. Like, I'm not saying he attached himself to Sargon of Akkad or Armored Skeptic or some bigwig. He attached himself to Dapperton's crazy ass. Which I say with all due respect. Love the look. You present some really crazy views. But debating these views is for another time and place. Again, I'm wasting my time because, like I've said, there are 2 videos reprimanding YouTube Dude for his behavior. And it's not as if he's gonna change. Some of you might be asking, well, what about his points? Let someone else make them. If Gwis had made these points, there'd be an open discussion. At least, I'd offer it. If Boonslayer had made some valid points about myself, I would have an open discussion with the man. Had Manga Common made some valid points, I would have roasted the fuck out of him. And then privately, we would have sat down, kicked the can back and forth, and open discussion. I have no interest to talk to YouTube Dude. I have no interest in hearing his insights. In fact, if someone else took everything he said and put some visuals that a 2-year-old couldn't draw, with a real voice, word for word, I might listen. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye. And if Doodle's response is FNGR is a voicist, why yes I am. That's not a joke. If your words come off like Gandhi and you sound like Randy Newman, I'm not listening. But to quote someone more respected than I mean, it's almost like the commentary community is like AAA gaming. I'll be over here waiting for them to get patched for better visuals and better audio. Mwah!
So, today I'm doing a commentary on a commentary to a review.
Oh, goody. Another commentator that has a voice changer for one reason or another and doesn't realize how distracting and somewhat annoying the high pitch is. I mean, seriously, in what realm do you think that it's a good idea to sacrifice your quality for whatever reason you can cook up for raising the pitch so high? I mean, really, the only reason I can mix up as for why one would want to do this is if it was done ironically or for a character, and even then, the